Hi, my name is Gary Gamboa here with Desert Mountain Healing IOP. Thank you so much for visiting our channel. Please remember to like and subscribe. Hi, I'm Gary Gamboa. I am a co-owner here at Desert Mountain Healing IOP. We're a intensive outpatient recovery for drugs and alcohol. And my guest here today is Wyatt, and he is the son of a little video on the subject of parents educating their kids on drugs and alcohol addiction. So we'll just ask Wyatt a few questions and see what kind of perspective we get out of it. So welcome, Wyatt. Glad you're here, buddy. How old are you?
15.
15, and you're in what grade?
Ninth.
Ninth. Okay. Let me ask you, did you uh, did you actually physically see drugs at school?
I was probably about 13.
13. So that would have been what, seventh grade, something like
More
that.
like eighth
Eighth
grade.
grade.
Eighth grade.
Yeah. Did you just see someone with it, or did they offer you? Were they trying to get you to purchase it?
It was more I just saw someone with it,
Mm-hmm.
so they weren't like coming up to me and being like, "Oh, do you want this?" And I was just like, it wasn't really like that. It was just more I saw someone with it.
Mm,
Uh, Probably around that age.
yeah, yeah. What kind of education in the schools is there, or if any?
So with that one, it's hard because they like there was a assembly I kind of remember that got kind of on the topic of it, but they don't talk about it a lot. Like the only real time that we really did a topic about it was in my eighth grade year, middle school, and I was in my health class, and we did like a whole like section about it for like a 2 to 3 week period,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like the real kind of only drug talk that I got in school.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't talk about it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll, I get, and they try their best, but they don't really bring it up as much as they should.
Right, right. So I take it you're saying that there should be more education in schools for addiction.
Yes.
Okay. Wow, that's crazy. I would have thought just the opposite as a parent, because most kids say, "Yeah, I don't want to," but I know that would have been me, but but anyway, so has education on opioids or fentanyl ever been taught in the schools at all?
So again, it was just back in that
Hmm.
little 2 3 week period where she kind of went over like opioids and fentanyl and how fentanyl can just be in stuff. Like you don't know that it's in there until you do it, and that's kind of like the last thing you do.
Hmm.
But besides that, like there really hasn't been a lot of drug talk just in general in the school system. At least to my knowledge, like again, I just gotta go back to the health class. Like that health class was like really the only thing. Uh,
So if you don't take that class, you don't hear about
no.
addiction. Yeah, I see.
Uh, I take a health class now. We might end up talking about it, uh, but I don't know. She hasn't really brought it up with us at all, and so I wouldn't be surprised if
Mhm.
there isn't any drug
Yeah.
talk.
Did your parents come to you first and say, Wyatt, um, we need to sit down and talk about drugs? Or was it the reverse? Maybe you got in some trouble and then it was Wyatt, we need to sit down and talk about this.
So it was kind of like they would talk to me about it, and they'd be like, we need to talk about this. I want to address it, and then I just go on with my normal day, and then I remember getting in trouble about it, and then they kind of realized that it was a problem,
Mm,
and so they started talking about it more. But it's hard,
hmm.
because when you're 15 and you're still developing and stuff, and your brain's still developing.
Would would it be if you had the perfect parent to we all have perfect parents, but would the education from your parent be would it more relate to you as a partnership type educational, let's sit down and read and look at the data and kind of, or coming on heavy, like getting on your case about it,
Um, so with
or
that,
neither?
it's kind of hard because like my parents have come up to me and they'll talk about it, And it's not that like I'm not hearing what they're saying, it's just that like I almost feel like you hear it all the time, or it's like a typical kind of parent thing. And so, like, a lot of the time, what happens with at least me, but my perspective as a teenager, you kind of get bored.
Mhm.
You know, it's just like, oh, well, I know that drugs are bad and alcohol is bad and stuff like that. And so we kind of shrug it off.
Mhm.
But I feel like it needs to be more of a, if it's not a problem for like their child, I guess, then they can kind of be like, well, let's sit down, let's talk about it, and let's do a little bit of research and stuff like that. But if it is becoming a problem, it kind of has to go a little bit heavier.
Right. So when you said it, I heard you say a minute ago it was hard when you sat down with your parents. What was hard about it?
So it's kind of complicated because I don't really know how to answer it. I say that it's hard not because like the topic of drugs is hard for me to like understand and talk about, but it's hard just because like you feel like, at least I feel like I'm always being talked about it.
Hmm.
Because my dad's in the medical field, so he deals with that all the time. So he talks to me a lot
Right, right.
about it. So it's just kind of like, I guess that's the hard part. It's just like sitting through it because it's an everyday thing.
Do you sometimes feel like if you if you indulge too much information, you're going to get in trouble
Yeah,
in a way?
yeah.
Yeah, I was the same way. But as you get older and you start getting your car and you start getting close to high school graduation, you start thinking about colleges and things of that sort. Are you going to um, do you think you're going to get more comfortable talking to your parents?
So that one's a little bit hard because I feel like more when you're a teenager and you're growing up and you're getting a car, you want a little bit more independence.
Hmm.
You know, especially when you get a car, because then you're able to kind of, I mean, you can't do whatever you want, but you feel like that.
Hmm.
You know, because you're able to drive yourself where you want to, you're able to do the stuff you want to. So I feel like it really just depends on the relationship between the child and the parent.
Right.
Because uh, again, when you grow up, you want a little bit more independence, but if you have a good relationship with your mom or your dad, uh, you might feel more comfortable talking to them about it. But if you
Hmm.
don't have such a good relationship, like maybe you don't want to talk about it
Right. Right.
because again, that's just a parent uh, to child thing,
Yeah.
like just
Totally
a
understand.
connection and stuff.
Yeah, totally. Or you get along with one and not the other. Or,
Yeah, yeah,
you're real
yeah.
close to one and not the
Yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah.
Vice versa. That's the way I was in my family. This last question I'm going to ask: um, is there anything you would like for your parents to say to you on drugs?
I guess that the real thing that I would want them to say, I mean, they've said it before, but I guess it's never not good to have a reminder of it, is that addiction's a real thing, you know? And especially being my age, you know, we want to kind of.
I guess this would be as we get ready to wrap this thing up. What I'll give you the last uh, comment on anything you want to as far as kids getting educated on addiction. Just spill it out there, whatever you want to say.
So I feel like we need to bring it more up in school. My school's bad with it. Like they don't really bring up drugs or addictions or alcohol, really any of that stuff. And then it sucks because it's going through my school. You know, like my school has a lot of drugs going through it and a lot of alcohol going through it. And it seems like the school administrators or whatever just don't care. Like I've been from getting into the school and stuff like that.
Right, right. All right, Wyatt. Well, thanks for stopping by, man. We appreciate your perspective, and yeah, we'll be doing more videos on this subject. So you guys everybody out there have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Hi, my name is Tatiana with Desert Mountain Healing. Thanks for joining our channel today. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button.